Okay, let's talk about it. This was the craziest thing that I saw yesterday.
You've seen most of the files. Who, if anyone, did Epstein traffic these young women to besides himself?
Himself, there is no credible information. None. If there were, I would bring the case yesterday that he trafficked to other individuals. And the information we have, again, is limited.
So the answer is no one
For the information that we have
in the files.
in the case file.
That was crazy. That was one of the most craziest clips that I saw yesterday. I understand what Cash is trying to do. He left himself a lot of legal wiggle room by saying, based on what we've seen or credible information, all that jazz. But just think about what he just said. He said that Jeffrey Epstein was a lone wolf. He did it all by himself with allegedly Ghislaine Maxwell as well. Allegedly, supposedly. And it just it boggles my mind because if you think about the numbers real quick, the FBI have confirmed that there are over 1,000 victims, right? Over 1,000 victims. Let's just go with 1,000. They said there could be more. Over a 20-year time period. That works out to be, on average, 50 a year. Then you break that down further, it comes out to be 1 a week per year for 20 years. That's dedication. Because I understand that some weeks you got to do back-to-back, maybe 2 a day, whatever. Because on average, it works out to be once a week. That's dedication. I mean, it becomes a job at this point because it's like saying that Tuesday is the day that this has to get done so I can get to 1,000 in 20 years because maybe he didn't want to get to 1,000, who knows, but maybe he was trying to get to more than 1,000. But to do it once a week, it becomes a scheduled thing, especially that it's just him and allegedly Ghislaine Maxwell as well. To do it solo dolo, that's insane. That's dedication. At this point, I can see how he became a billionaire.
Financier Jeffery Epstein. Jeff was a high school math teacher until he traded his blackboard for the big board in 1976, eventually launching his own exclusive finance firm for billionaire clients.
If it wasn't such a terrible, terrible thing that he did, in a way, you can look at Jeffrey Epstein's story as some kind of case study because he got up to $1 billion with this hobby that he has. And I guess we're calling it a hobby now because, like I said, to get to 1,000 solo dolo in 20 years, that's once a week. That's a scheduled thing. And I used to work in sales, okay? It's not like he can just go and call somebody up and, find these ladies. Maybe some of them are layups, who knows? But from what we've seen, it takes time to develop, these relationships and kind of, find them, identify whatnot, and put them in the pipeline. Like I said, I used to be in sales, and in sales, you have that idea of developing your pipeline of things. It's, deals that happen this month, deals that happen next month, things that you think they could be something months from now, weeks from now, days from now, whatever, right? So for him to get to these numbers, he would have to, with whoever else, develop the relationship, identify, develop, and then recruit once a week. That's a lot of work. Okay, and he got up to $1 billion with this side project that doesn't. It's just I guess it's a side project because you it's not like it generates, unless it does, generates income. That's That's allegedly, supposedly as well, because once a week, and he got up to $1 billion. I don't think we know any billionaires that didn't do something a little bit shady to get there. I guess a Powerball winner would be the most unshady billionaire that we can get to, because they got the money in one swoop, you know? A, a billionaire's journey to get there is a long and treacherous one, especially if they built it themselves. Think about Logan Paul. He almost reached a billionaire status. And if you Google him now and look at what's up with Logan Paul, allegedly, supposedly, he's done some very questionable things on his journey to try to get to a billionaire, and he still didn't reach there, right? And Jeffrey Epstein did, with this other thing that he is doing, this other job, because again, once a week on average, over 1,000 in 20 years is insane. And for Kash to say that, and again, as I said earlier, Kash left himself a lot of wiggle room by saying, oh, based on evidence that we've seen from what we've have, I cannot confirm. Like he said all the legal jazz to leave himself some wiggle room. But the basic essence of what he said was Jeffrey Epstein, solo dolo, over 1,000 in 20 years, once a week.